All right, guys, so today in class we talked about adding and subtracting decimals. So on the homework help video, I'm going to work out number 1, which is your first adding problem, and then I'm going to work out number 4, which is your first subtracting problem. So for number 1, you have 8.9745 plus 3.26. And we talked in class today about there's only 3 things we have to do when we're adding decimals, and that is first, line up the decimal points. Second, add straight down, and then last but not least, drop that decimal point down into your answer. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to line them up, and if you remember correctly, I told you guys that it was really a smart idea to use that graph paper and to put one number per box so that everything stays all nice and neat and lined up. So we have 8 decimal 9 7 4 5, okay? So then we need to figure out that our 3 is in the ones place and go over to my answer here and put it in the ones place. So we have plus 3.26. Okay, so there's our problem. And we also talked in class today about keeping everything all nice and neat and lined up. And to do that, we're going to add placeholders where there is nothing. And our placeholder that we can put in is zeros. So behind the 6, we're going to have 2 placeholders. And now we have everything all lined up, check. The next thing to do is to add straight down. Now, when we add, be careful when you're carrying numbers to make sure that you carry those and that you keep up with all of the addition that you're doing. So, 5 plus 0 is 5. 4 plus 0 is 4. 7 plus 6 is 13. So my 3 goes down here, and I'm going to carry the 1 up there. 1 plus 9 plus 2 is 12. So I've got my 2. Carry my 1. 1 plus 3 plus 8 is, drop my decimal straight down. Can't forget that. So now I have 1 plus 8 plus 3 is 12. Okay, so our final answer, I'm going to put a box around it, is 12.2345. Okay, all right. Then, like I said, we're going to drop on down to number 4 and take a look at your first subtraction problem. We're going to do mostly the same thing. Okay, so we still have to line up the decimal points. We're going to subtract straight down, and then we've got to drop our decimal point into our final answer. So our first one to put in is just a 12. So here's my 12, and we talked about when the decimal point is out of sight, it's all the way to the right. Okay, so it's back behind that number all the way to the right. Okay, minus 10.623. Okay, so now we have our problem, and we're going to add in our zeros as placeholders so that we can subtract. So we have 3 placeholders behind the 2. Okay, now this is a problem where we're going to have to do a lot of borrowing because we do have all of these zeros up here on the top. So let's just start with our first one. We have 0 minus 3, and I can't do that. So I've got to cross that out, and we know that that 0 is going to become a 10. Okay, so when I look, there's nothing to the right. Keep going, there's still nothing, but there is a 2 there. So essentially, this is like a 200, okay? And I'm going to take 1 from there and put it here, okay? So if I take 1 away from 200, I now have 199, okay? So this 0 becomes a 9, this 0 becomes a 9, and this 2 becomes a 1. It was a 200, now it's a 199. Okay, so now we should be able to subtract straight down. 10 minus 3 is 7. 9 minus 2 is 7. 9 minus 6 is 3. Got to drop my decimal point straight down. 1 minus 0 is 1, and then 1 minus 1 is 0. Okay, so my final answer is 1.377. All right, so use all those same skills to do the rest of your problems. Again, it's a super good idea if you want to put those on graph paper so that you can keep all your decimal points nice and lined up. All right, good luck.